Welcome to episode 2 of our catch up with our fantastic Irish AFLW players. Mike Curran here, and I am thrilled to be joined this time around by Blaithin Mackin from Melbourne. Blaithin, welcome and thanks for having a chat with us.
Thanks very much for having me on.
Now, you have had a crazy weekend and a crazy week and a crazy few months, I'm sure, but let's start from now. You got to go to the AFL Grand Final in Melbourne yesterday.
Yeah, it was class. It was definitely an experience I couldn't turn down, and it was the whole day. It was probably one of the biggest sporting events I've been at so far. 100,000 people in the stadium. No, it was brilliant.
Amazing. Yeah, I was there myself in 2019, and it's one of the best sporting experiences I've ever had. So I know how it is. And come here, obviously the game itself was a bit of a blowout, but to see two Irish players, Mark and Zach, win a premiership, that was special to be there for that as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, that was really cool, and I wasn't sure who I was supporting. I think I had both colours on me from the start to the finish, but yeah, no, even to see Zach walking about with the Portlaoise flag after, it was pretty cool. And yeah, no, it was. I've seen a few tweets saying Irish personality of the year and stuff, and he's definitely up there. And to do it in his 250th game, and then Mark O'Connor as well, it was class. Like the both of them were brilliant.
Oh no, it was a brilliant achievement, and as you say, to see the flags, the Portlaoise flag, the Irish flag, walking around in full G, absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And come here, this weekend, obviously, you played a round 5. This was your second game this weekend, your first AFLW win against Carlton. How was that game, and how did that go for yourself personally?
Yeah, no, it was really good. Definitely to get the first win. Probably you're always critical of yourself when you're watching back. Probably personally wasn't my best performance or showed my best, but it was really good as a team. Played for the full 4 quarters, which is what we've been trying to do and working towards. Obviously it's quite a short season, so at the halfway point now, and yeah, no, the team's looking really good, and it was a good win, and I was delighted to be part of it.
Absolutely, and of course it was Goldie's first game of the year as well, so I'm sure it was great to get out and play with Goldie. We've had sessions with her back here in Ireland, but it was good to get an AFLW game alongside her.
Yeah, so good. And actually the practice round I got to play with her, that was the very first time, it was against Carlton as well, so it was good to get a proper AFLW round with her, and it was so good to see her back, and she made such an impact on the team, and I think everyone was delighted to have her back. She just such a good athlete, and she really energized the whole defense for us. So yeah, no, she was brilliant.
No, brilliant to see her back. And of course that was the first win, so you got to sing your first song. Are you getting used to all these bits and pieces that they do in AFLW that you might be used to back at home?
Yeah, definitely. And I've had a bit of time to try and practice it. And my brother sent me a message saying you weren't very good at singing that song. So the practice honestly hasn't worked very well. Connor didn't approve. But no, yeah, it definitely is. There's small different things that you wouldn't quite do at home. Probably singing a song after is one of them, but it's class. Like, it's such a cool experience, and yeah, as you said, definitely good to get the first one done.
Great. And I'd say
hopefully brush up on the singing.
Yeah, well, I'd say you'll have plenty more practice hopefully across the season, because Melbourne are absolutely flying it. So go back even 5 or 6 days earlier, we mentioned it was a crazy week, your actual debut game. So you had your first debut game in the round 4 clash against Brisbane. What a game it was, one of the biggest games of the year. You just didn't get over the line in terms of the win, but I suppose what was it like to actually get named and play in your debut, your first AFLW game?
Yeah, no, it was so good. And as you say, Melbourne, they're a brilliant team, but the staff and everything are really, really good. And even the way they sort of told me and Georgia we made it together, even the way they done it for us, took us by surprise. So it was so nice. And yeah, no, it was definitely, I think I was nervous straight after they told me, but then obviously, yeah, really excited after that.
And of course, yeah, you mentioned it there. We saw the video of Mick calling you all in the rooms and getting to do your dance. Had you any idea what was coming up?
No, we hadn't a clue, but we actually rushed back out to the circle after we danced, and then we were called back in. We were afraid we were going to have to dance again. So it was definitely a nice surprise being told that we were going to make our debuts together. So yeah, no, it was class.
For definite. And that wasn't the only surprise that evening, of course. Like literally a few minutes later, again, you had 2 very special visitors from Ireland, Owen, your partner, and Yasmin, your sister. Was that a huge surprise? I'm sure it was.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it was, I think my emotions just got the better of me then. Like, I was so shocked. I didn't think, just for different reasons, like I didn't think any of my family would be coming over this soon. And my brother and sister are coming over in a month's time. But I didn't expect anyone to come over. Just, you know, everyone has their own lives and it's very busy. So it was so good of Melbourne to organise it, and then for obviously Owen and Yasmin to give up the time. So it was so nice, and like it was good for them to be there the same day that I got told that I was making my debut, because it was a lot of excitement in one day, but it was really, really good.
That's for sure, a lot to take in, and it was brilliant that they were there to witness it. Of
Yeah.
course it was. And also then in terms of the debut game itself, of course we saw Laura Corrigan-Durea giving you your jersey. So obviously Laura was the first ever Irish AFLW player out of all the girls that have played, and the first Irish player at Melbourne. I'm sure it was special to receive your Guernsey from her as well.
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. And Laura had reached out to me initially when I had signed with Melbourne. So I had known her just a wee bit from that there, and I knew she had played for Melbourne, and she couldn't speak highly enough of Melbourne at that time whenever I just signed. So that was obviously a good sign from someone who had played there before. And, you know, it was so good. Even she was friends of friends with Mia Moriarty from home, who I played for Armagh with, and he was a really good friend of mine. So it was really nice that we both sort of have connections in different ways, but we never actually I got to meet each other. So it was so good to talk to her and see her after the game and before it for the jersey.
Fantastic. And as I said earlier, there's so much squeezed into a few weeks. Even jump back to the practice game. So your practice game was at the MCG. Obviously, you were there for the grand final of the weekend. You were playing there a few weeks ago. You scored a goal in one of your first kicks at the MCG. We're all watching it back here at home. What did that feel like? Did you know what the MCG was even before you went out and played there, or before you went to Australia?
Yeah, I knew what it was. I knew it was such a big ground, but my first time at it was the Thursday before that. So I think that was a Friday night game, and I think we were there the Thursday night before it for the season launch, and that was my very first time being there. And then played on the Friday. So no, it was really surreal. Like, it was class. I don't know. I think I just sort of, you know, you kick a score at home and you just turn around and don't celebrate. So that's what I was going to do. And then the girls obviously just swore at me, which was so nice. Like, and that was just my first week there. So like, they just completely welcomed you, like, which was great.
Absolutely, yeah, no, it's a great occasion, and a great way to mark it as well. And of course, you mentioned Yasmin and Owen heading over. The family at home, we know they're a crazy sporting house up in the Mackins. We were up there early in the year when mixed tenure was over. Is everybody watching the games? Are they all getting up and watching the games together as a family back at home?
Yeah, I think the very first round one against Adelaide, they were all up watching even when I wasn't playing. So no, they've fully come on board, even though I only made my debut last week. Like, they just have supported Melbourne from the start since I've come over. So yeah, no, they're loving it. I think the first message I got from Mum was after the Adelaide game was, "That's very rough, Blaithin, you need to be careful." So yeah, no, they're loving it. And as I said, got sent them home some jerseys, so all the kids and nephews are in their Melbourne kit now, so it's great.
Yeah, we're keeping in touch with Frida and Mickey on WhatsApp here at home, and obviously they're very keen to see how you're getting on over there. And we saw all the smallies and the nieces and nephews with the gear, so that's brilliant to see as well. And outside of the football, we won't keep you too much longer. Obviously, it's halfway through the season now. How are you enjoying life in Melbourne in general?
Yeah, no, it's brilliant, and I'm living with Megan and Alyssa, two girls that play for Melbourne as well, and it's been so good, sort of adjusting to the lifestyle and obviously the professionalism of the sport, which has been really enjoyable. And yeah, no, it's really good to see like how far you can push yourself, and just a new city and a new country. So it's a far away from Ireland, but no, Melbourne's been treating me well so far.
Yeah, we're very jealous of all the Insta stuff of you touring around on the weekends and stuff down there. So it looks fantastic, and the weather's getting better as the weeks go on as well and stuff. What's next for you this weekend? Round 6?
Yeah, round 6. We're away to Fremantle, so to Perth. So we'll see how it goes with team selection and stuff like that there. So it's obviously always the nervous part of the week. You always want to be on the team, and you always want to be, you're trying your best to get starting. But yeah, hopefully we'll see how we go for that team selection, and that's the next game for the team. So we'll be really looking to push on, and it's always tough going away, and obviously it is quite far, so it'll be a tough round for us.
Sure. Well, hopefully we see you on the plane to Perth for Fremantle, and that will probably be your first interstate game. So that'll be exciting as well, Blaithin. And best of luck for that and for the rest of the season so far. It's flying by. Hard to believe it's round 6. We'll keep in touch with you. Hopefully we might chat to you again. But for now, thanks so much for taking the time to jump on, and best of luck for this weekend and for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Mike.